Food is being plated right now.
If you want to, you have to put your plate down.
As you can see, there's an egg drop soup, a tofu and vegetable dish, a mixed seafood and broccoli dish.
What are those, pho noodles?
No, that's shredded potato.
Wow.
And that is a lamb dish. Eugene is helping himself. Don't take all the shrimp. There's only a few shrimp in this dish. It's a mixed seafood dish. I don't order food from restaurants on DoorDash very often because it's so expensive. But today, my boyfriend is repainting my kitchen with a very, very, very nasty paint.
What are you doing, Adrienne?
I'm waiting for food that I ordered on DoorDash, and while I'm waiting, I'm reading an article called "The U.S. has run out of time and excuses. Now we'll be forced to watch thousands die of the coronavirus."
Hi!
Was that sound of a door closing, the door of my delivery driver closing their door? I saw this ridiculous news report called, "Is it safe to dine at restaurants right now?" No, of course it's not. That's why we're not doing it. We will be dining at home. My boyfriend is gonna watch cartoons with Evelyn and Eugene on his phone while they eat. But before the cartoons that may be copyrighted start playing, I want to show you what we got from the Chinese restaurant that we ordered food from on DoorDash.
High five?
We got 3 forks, 3 sets of chopsticks, 3 containers of rice, a soup, and 4 containers of food, which everyone is very excited to eat, as you can tell. These plates are from my own collection of things I have previously bought, not from the Chinese restaurant.
Hungry.
The food is being plated right now.
If you want to, you have to put your plate down.
As you can see, there's an egg drop soup, a tofu and vegetable dish, a mixed seafood and broccoli dish.
What are those, pho noodles?
No, that's shredded potato.
Wow.
And that is a lamb dish. Eugene is helping himself. Don't take all the shrimp. There's only a few shrimp in this dish. It's a mixed seafood dish.
Now can you turn it up?
I don't order food from restaurants on DoorDash very often because it's so expensive. But today, my boyfriend is repainting my kitchen with a very, very, very nasty paint. This paint smells so nasty that, as you can see, he's wearing an N95 mask.
I'm sure people are going to say something nasty about the color.
As you can see, this is a very thick paint, and it works better if you use a paintbrush with fine bristles than a paint roller. If you use a paint roller, you will have to do several coats, or else you will be able to see the original color through the paint. And as long as you get one very thick coat over the original color, it will completely cover it up. This is not normal paint.
Very sticky.
This is industrial strength paint.
You gotta hurry up and use this. I poured too much.
You poured that for me to use?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. It also dries very quickly, which is why I have to hurry up and use that dish of paint right there. Apparently poured for me.
You're about to drip. Nice edging.
Look at that. After my boyfriend went over it twice with the paint roller and I touched it up with the paintbrush, the dish of paint he poured me, and the last of the paint left over in the dish he was using the paint roller with, this is what it looks like. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
And I did it all without getting any paint on my clothes, see?
Wow, there's paint on your wrist though, Adrienne.
There is where?
Other wrist, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Did you find any paint thinner or acetone or anything that can remove this because it won't wash off with water?
No. It'll come off when the skin cells done.
It'll come off when I peel it off like a Band-Aid. We also need paint thinner to thin this very thick paint to paint my textured walls with. It's a little bit too thick to work on my textured walls. And by the way, people, I despise textured walls. If you're remodeling your house and considering texturing your walls, please don't. Please make your walls as smooth as possible. Smooth walls are so much easier to clean and so much easier to repaint than textured walls. I despise textured walls. I'm pouring myself a cup of coffee right here in my outdoor kitchen. Luckily, we have set up this outdoor kitchen and also an outdoor shower, so we can do everything outside while we're remodeling the inside of my house. Delicious.
Sounds like paradise.
Eugene is very upset that we won't let him go inside to play Nintendo with the Nintendo hooked up to the TV, and he has to play Nintendo in my yard. Because don't you know, Eugene plays Nintendo for quite a few hours every day on the days when we're busy remodeling our house.
Are we done?
Yeah, I think so. Do you hear that sound? Okay, people, this paint smells so nasty that we had to put a fan into the window in my living room that my boyfriend has converted into his shop room, as you can see. The fan is a fan that we borrowed from our friend who grows marijuana. It's an exhaust fan used in marijuana grow rooms, which is very, very loud. And as you can see and hear, it is exhausting the smell of this nasty smelling paint out of my house. I was actually getting dizzy and lightheaded from the smell of this paint. But doesn't it look nice? We need to do a few more coats because, as you can see, when you look at the paint job up close, you can see that because the drywall is textured, it did not fully coat the drywall, and you can see small spots of the original blue through the paint. Unfortunately, I got a few drops on my brand new door by accident, and also, unfortunately, a few drops on my Yamaha keyboard. There it is, Yamaha. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to use this keyboard in quite some time because the power cord went missing, and I'm not sure where the power cord is. And this keyboard can actually be powered by batteries. I think it takes like 6 or 8 or 12 or some ridiculous amount of D batteries to power it for like a few hours. So I haven't spent the ridiculous amount of money it would take to buy these batteries to power this keyboard for a few hours. I'll just wait to play it until I find the power cord. And I'm sorry for things like this improperly patched hole in the drywall and this nasty flue pipe from where my heater used to be. We cannot remove this nasty flue pipe from where my heater used to be without like ripping a hole in my roof. And this patch is covering electrical wiring that is disconnected, so we cannot permanently cover the hole until an electrician comes here, and that would cost like a few $100s because the wiring is connected to that outlet, which is also connected to this thermostat, which is connected to a circuit breaker, which is turned off, because we may actually have to rip out this wall to figure out how to properly disconnect the wiring, because we're not going to have a heater here like ever again. Because this is where a natural gas heater was, and we are converting my entire house to propane. And underneath what used to be my curtain is a propane heater, which is connected to a propane tank with a rubber hose right now, as you can see. It goes out the window to a propane tank. This will be replaced with permanent metal piping. We need about $350 to $450 to have this metal piping professionally installed. If I could, I would have somebody come in and rip out all of this nonsense right now, make that outlet work, make sure there's no live wires going to a hole in the wall that's covered up or a thermostat we're never going to use. I would have somebody rip this out, patch the hole in the roof, and patch the hole in the drywall in the ceiling. But I cannot afford to have somebody do that right now. My boyfriend will have to do it eventually, or I will pay somebody to do it, or he will pay somebody to do it when either of us make some money. For now, it will look like this indefinitely. But at least it looks better than it did. Don't you agree, people? Doesn't this look better? You've got to admit, it's getting better. It's getting better all the time. What are you doing now?
I was taking a look at the car.
The car?
Yeah. I was looking for a pair of pliers.
Please don't start working on the car. I wanted to do like a little more work on the drywall in here and do the car tomorrow. We're both suffering from brain overload and too much to-doism because of the whole coronavirus situation, which causes us to not be able to have anyone come over to help us with our remodel or watching our children while we're remodeling.
Okay.
But just make tomorrow or the day after tomorrow car day and have today be kitchen day. Today, I wanted to make a video about how to make candied borage flowers. As you can see, I have both the common variety of borage, blue borage, and the rare variety of borage, white borage. I also have farm fresh eggs laid today by my chickens, and I sent my boyfriend to buy powdered sugar made without cornstarch, which is actually incredibly difficult to find, just so I could make candied borage flowers. However, it's really annoying to make them outside because the cat will climb your leg to eat them because they have raw egg. That's actually not the real reason. The reason it's really annoying to make them outside is that the combination of sugar and raw egg will attract like every fly and mosquito within miles. But I can't make them in my kitchen because of the overwhelming smell of the paint. So I might make them tomorrow. But half of these flowers will fall off by tomorrow. So I might make them later on tonight when the paint dries a little bit more. I also have a few cats that I need to bring inside before it gets dark. I'm hoping the paint will dry before it gets dark. But look at these beautiful borage flowers. The ash on them is from the fire that we started. As you can see, it's very windy and the wind is blowing the ash from our fire onto my flowers. This will also make it more difficult to make candied borage flowers because they can't be dirty when you make candied borage flowers out of them.
I'm so lucky I could breathe much more longer.
What are you playing right now, Eugene?
Minecraft, but in a swimming game. I'm so lucky I could breathe more longer now. Hey?
You can't be in here without a mask, Adrienne. How are you able to be in here?
The answer to the question is, I am actually one of the people who has a very, very hard time breathing through a mask. And the smell of this nasty chemical-scented paint causes me to have less of a hard time breathing than breathing through a mask for a few minutes does. This is why you have seen me doing nasty things that people normally do while wearing masks, like painting, cleaning mold, and cleaning cat urine without a mask on my YouTube channel for years. And when I go to the grocery store while wearing a mask, it's like almost impossible for me to breathe, people. Like, I sympathize with people who don't want to wear a mask because they have a hard time breathing through a mask. If I had a job where I had to work for 12 hours a day wearing a mask, well, I would have to quit it. I wouldn't be able to do that. I feel like I'm like dying from not being able to breathe after wearing a mask for only like 1 or 2 minutes, especially the N95 masks. Like, I can't wear them, and I would only wear them if I was around somebody who was like confirmed to be infected with coronavirus, or if I was confirmed to be infected with coronavirus, because those are like the hardest masks to breathe through. What I really need, and what other people who have a hard time breathing through masks really need, is a professional respirator that costs thousands of dollars that pumps filtered air in and out, so the person doesn't have to struggle to breathe through a mask. And honestly, if the government is going to require people to wear masks because they didn't properly handle the coronavirus outbreak when it started and now everyone has to wear masks, the government should provide those kind of respirators to people who cannot handle wearing a normal face mask.
What is that, Adrienne?
What is what?
That.
What that are you referring to?
The 9/11 picture.
This is a painting by this artist who signed it of an airplane about to fly into the Twin Towers on 9/11. I was going to put it up on this wall, but I didn't know where the stud was. I couldn't find a stud finder. The neighbor said he was going to give me one, then he never gave me one. So it's resting here. And this is a cassette tape, brand new unopened, and a brand new unopened package of napkins from IKEA. And this is Blue, one of Wombat's beautiful kittens.
He doesn't want to be picked up.
Yeah, he does.
No crickers allowed.
Cat hair and whiskers went up my nose.
He wants down.
My boyfriend is going to be surprised when he wakes up in the morning because, as you can see, I have rearranged all of the furniture. And I have cleaned the countertop. So there it is, people. There is my halfway remodeled kitchen in its current state. This is gonna be our temporary dining room. I'm gonna put my computer desk right there. I was gonna do it tonight, but two things went wrong. Do you hear that sound outside? That is the sound of a skunk foraging around in my yard, which is why the bag of trash is right there and I did not take it out. And Fluffy is inside, but the other cats I normally bring inside for the night are not inside. They are hiding somewhere in the yard, and I will find them later on tonight or in the morning when the skunk is no longer foraging around in my yard. Normally I bring a few other cats inside for the night, not just Fluffy, who's actually not supposed to go outside at all, but occasionally gets out. Anyway, now that at least Fluffy is safely inside for the night, eating cat food and drinking water, I am going to change into my fleece pajamas. I know this outfit looks a little bit ridiculous, but I have to turn off the gas heater for the night, and I only have a wimpy little electric heater to keep me warm in my room at night, so I have to put on my outfit that is fit for the North Pole, as you can see, so I don't wake up freezing cold and shivering at night, even though I have 2 synthetic blankets and 1 wool blanket. Anyway, with that said, I am going to end this video. Good night, people. Please like this video, share this video, watch my other videos, and subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to help me out to make more videos, you can. You can help me by donating money to me on Patreon or other sites, or buying things for me off of my Amazon wishlist or off of other sites. Thanks for watching this video. Good night, people.